to the top of the mountain. Quite frankly, the best in the business. So without further ado, let me introduce to you the Honorable Thomas T. Stenenbaum, Esquire.
From the New Orleans-based law firm of Stenenbaum, and Stenenbaum. And, you know, Don, for weeks we've heard from Jeff Jarrett's lawyer, and now we can actually put a face to the voice. And you know what? After seeing his face, that could have remained a mystery as far as I'm concerned.
Well, one thing you got to say about him, though, Mike, is he has been shrewd, calculating, like all lawyers are, and he got the results that he told Jeff he would get.
There are two things I want to cover tonight, briefly here for you, Jeff, and you're going to love both of them. One is effective tonight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. The NWA Board of Directors is disbanding.
Oh, beautiful.
I was notified of this last weekend, but held it because I wanted to give you the exciting news. They've all turned in their resignations to NWA President Bill Barons, and to avoid a very nasty, embarrassing civil lawsuit, and also Mr. Barons has resigned too.
Oh, that's beautiful. The NWA board is gone at 9 o'clock tonight.
To avoid a potentially embarrassing lawsuit.
So with that, I'm going to turn my attention to these gentlemen back here. Gentlemen, now Mr. Jarrett has told me about you all that most of you were prima donnas. Some of you may even be mentally handicapped, that you didn't read your contract. So I'm here to tell you about your contract, to let you know that what you signed, all of you signed your contract, but you need to know what breach of contract is. So
listen up, boys. He's going to define breach for you.
Page 7, paragraph 7 of the contract that each and every one of you signed. Any contracted employee, talent, wrestler who fails to carry out the explicit desires of TNA management can be deemed in breach of contract and thereby is subject to dismissal from TNA for failure to comply. So gentlemen, let me put it to you very simply. If you are mentally handicapped or you are a little slow, you'll understand this. There's the door to Wedgwood Avenue. I would suggest if you didn't want to comply, hit it. There's several interstate systems that could get you out of this city, and you can catch one of them and continue on. I'm going to put it in very, very simple, easy terms for you. Mr. Jarrett and Mr. Callis own you, lock, stock, and barrel.
Well put, Thomas T. Well put. So now, boys, with that mutual understanding, listen up, with that mutual understanding, let's get right down to business, because I've got to address the troops. Simon Diamond and Johnny Swinger, one of you signed the loyalty oath, and one of you didn't. The one who signed that contract, and we all know who it is, I'm going to give you a small window of opportunity to step forward. And if you do not step forward, you will be in breach of contract. And breach of contract, quite frankly, means you both will be fired. Gary Lynn, you weaseled your way back in, and now you're captain of the America's X Cup. I've got one word for you, man. Win. And if you don't win, and you don't have a great showing next week, one word for you, buddy. Breach, you'll be fired. Sonny Siaki, since you've been listening to Wizard of Oz, and you know, Sonny, I liked you. I've tried week after week to get Kid Cash for you to sign that loyalty oath. But since you want to listen to some advisor, well, then I'm going to make it real plain and simple for you tonight. You've got a match against Kid Cash. And the stipulation is, if you don't beat Kid Cash, you're going to be in breach of your contract. That means you're going to be fired. Now, Elion, Halloween's over. I know Eric Watts had you wear that mask, and it's about time you take it off. So I'm going to give you an option. You can either take it off right now, which I don't believe you will, or when you face Abyss tonight, not if, but when he pins your shoulders to the mat, 1, 2, 3, you will unmask. You got that, Elion? So now, boys, I just want to show you that I'm going to play by my rules. I'm a natural-born leader. I'm honorable. I'm going to live up to my own standards because I have a title shot tonight. And I don't know who it is, but I do know one thing. It's not AJ Styles because Abyss laid him right through a table. It's not D'Lo Brown because Abyss laid him right through a table. It's not Raven because these boys over here plucked his feathers week after week and Raven is gone. So whoever it is, I'm going to take them on like a man, face to face, nose to nose, and toes to toes. Isn't that right, BG? So whoever it is, I'm going to walk in the champion and walk out the champion. So I'm going to give each and every one of you an opportunity right now, and everybody around ringside right now. Does anybody have any questions or objections or any problems with what I have to say?
Anybody going to step up?
We'll see. Wait a minute.
Chris Harris. Wildcat Chris Harris from AMW's asked for a microphone.
Have you got a problem, Harris? Because I would love to make your life a living hell.
I got a problem with it, Jared. In fact, I've had a problem with you for a long time, but I've always been taught to keep my mouth shut. Well, now it's time for you to keep your mouth shut.
Tell it like it is, Chris.
Crowd love that.
You know, the Jeff Jarrett that I remember stood in that ring with that NWA title, stood for pride, stood for tradition. But now you're out here treating every single one of us like animals. You're standing there acting like you are a leader. You're sitting there. No, keep your mouth shut, Jarrett. Because when I say this, I speak for every single one of these guys. We are sick and tired of you coming out here every week and turning this into the Jeff Jarrett show.
Amen.
Testify.
You are pushing your luck, boy, because you know it, I know it, and everybody in this building knows it, that you'll always be nothing better than a mid-card tag team wrestler.
Oh, man.
Well, you know what? This mid-card tag team gave you some of the best matches in this promotion last year.
That's 100%
You
right.
better believe it. In the world.
You listen up, Jarrett. You don't own me, you don't own him, and you don't own any one of these guys. And you sure as hell don't own TNA.
He's got a mind of his own, thank God.
I like this, Chris
You know
Harris.
who else? You know who else you don't own? Your opponent tonight. That's right, Jared. You don't have any idea who your opponent is. But I do. He does. Every single one of these guys do. And for once in your life, you're going to have to stand up like a man. And when that bell rings tonight,
I've had all I'm going to take out of you because you are just like my opponent tonight and you're just like these fans. I can make you or I can break you. And Chris Harris, I will break you so far down, I'm going to make your head spin.
you can't break me, Jared.
Yeah, you talk.
You know what?
Standing on that ramp, Chris Harris.
He said
you talk. You wouldn't step in this ring and say it to my face. I'm sick and tired of you running your mouth. Yeah, come on in
There's
here.
a challenge to Harrison. Chris Harris is heading to the ring. I know who the opponent is too tonight.
Who is it, Mike?
I'll tell you what, it's a need-to-know basis. Jeff Jarrett doesn't need to know. I know you love surprises, Don. You're really going to like this one.
Oh, I can hardly wait. And the mayhem is going in the ring right now. Mike, you knew there was a powder keg ready to explode. It's all over.
We talked about the battle lines being drawn. The battle lines being divided. And you're right, the powder keg just exploded.
They almost were like saying, screw the breach of contract. Jeff Jarrett challenged them, though. They had the right to go in that ring, and they did, and they were victorious.
And Chris Harris and a group of wrestlers stood up behind him, and Jarrett and his troops retreated. To the back, Scott Hudson with TNA's Armando Quintero and AAA's Antonio Pena. Wow.
Here with Armando Quintero from TNA International and, of course, from AAA Mexico, Antonio Pena. In 1 week's time, America's X Cup right here on NWA TNA, the best that TNA has to offer and the best that AAA has to offer. You have to be confident going in, Mr. Pena.
En una semana más, el primer America's X Cup, el primer torneo AAA contra TNA, tiene que estar usted confiado.
Por eso estamos aquí. Esa división se enfrentó y se inventó en México. Todo eso es una copia, es una farsa. Esa copia debe de estar en México. Los mejores luchadores que traemos no se trata de siglas, se trata de hermandad. Y México es el dueño de esa copa.
He says that the very best wrestlers in the X Division are in Mexico because that's where the X Division was invented. And he is not only bringing the best of AAA, but he has joined forces with Triple L also. And they are coming combined to TNA because they are taking the cup home.
If that cup goes back south of the border, the celebration is going to be off the charts.
Si la copa se va al sur de la frontera, la celebración va a ser en grande.
Va a ser en grande y de seguro nos la vamos a llevar. En mi oficina ya tengo un lugar especial para tener esa copa. Y esa copa es de México, porque los mejores pesos están en México.
He says the celebration is going to be on in his office in Mexico City. He already has a very special place set aside for the America's X Cup. Let the celebration begin.
Supreme confidence being displayed by Antonio Pena from AAA. That's all next week. The AAA, the TNA, the battle is joined next week here on the TNA pay-per-view with America's X Cup. Right now, sit back and relax as we take a look at the Insane Clown Posse.
I just want you to know that it's out there and I put it on the table. You need to apologize to make things right. You need to apologize now in front of the world.
We need to apologize. Shaggy, should we apologize? Should we apologize to Jeff Jarrett? But seriously, I think myself, Jeff Jarrett should come down right now and apologize to the...
Oh! Dude, but it's on! Wait a minute! ICP just turned it on, you're in your burning! I just got him out of the ring!
Let's make it official. We know it's gonna happen. We're gonna have to put the boots back on and kick somebody's ass. And I say we take care of that next week right here at the Asylum.
They're clowns. They're insane clowns, Glenn. That's even worse. That's the worst kind.
What's the problem here? They're rappers.
I don't like clowns.
You don't like clowns?
I don't like clowns. I don't like them.
Well, that's perfect then. I mean, what are you trying to say here?
I'm just saying I don't like them, Glenn. 1 minute they've got balloons, they're saying come here, and then the next thing you know, they got sharp teeth and they're laying on a plate. I can't do that, Glenn.
Are you afraid of clowns?
No! Don't be dumb! No! I'm not afraid of clowns. I'm just saying I don't like them.
What'd you watch? It when you were a little boy or something that scared you? Get your head on straight, David. We got a match next week. We're gonna beat the living hell out of the Insane Clown Posse.
There's a movie called It?
Oh my goodie, look a chicken, keep your money, here's a ticket. Hold up, keep your kids out here.
Are you afraid of clowns?
No!
Glenn Del Verde.
I don't like clowns. I don't like them.
And David Young. What happened, guys? What did you get yourselves into? Oh, they know. Are you gonna come to the ring and lock up with us? Give